Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Happy Monday. And what do we have in store in the game this week? Well, as many of you are probably, if not already done, the fusion for Mavara, as you can see on the screen. I've actually already completed mine, so I can't go to the fusion screen and show it. However, I am working my way in getting her upgraded today. I did recently finish it. I am going to be working on getting my Minotaur scrolls and all of that done on Mavara so that I can use her in one of my Hydra teams, because I think that's where she's going to have the biggest impact. Honestly, I really like this part of her kit. On top of having the perfect veil, AoE is really, really powerful, right, for Hydra, but having that increased resist buff, strength, and there's so much good stuff about her. Her passive, honestly, 20% turn meter for every 8 buffs. So on Hydra, this happens super frequently, but even in setups of 4 and 5 heroes, this is still going to trigger pretty often. Healing over every 16, and then the fervor buff, right? Like, she's got a really insane kit. And some people are downplaying her a little bit, but I think that for a lot of players, not everyone, but I think for a lot of players, that she is going to make a pretty big impact in your PvE side of things. I heard that she's also a good PvP character. She has, right, some turn meter stuff, but she also has the ally 28% arena battles. But where I'm thinking about using her the most is on the PvE side of things. Now, what else is coming this week? Because we also don't know anything to do with Mavara's Red Star Souls or anything like that. And I want to take a look at some of the sources where we can kind of look back at what's been happening with other fusion-related legendaries and what we might expect later on this week. Now, before we get started with the rest of that, do want to remind people that you can use the QR code in the top right hand of the screen to get Thol and Falbeard absolutely free. And these 3 new amazing epics, we have Stag Knight at level 10, Allure at 20, and we have Farrakhan the Fat at level 30. And don't forget that we have this brand new legendary promo code to get yourself Grand Oak Padraig. That's right. He is amazing. I am going to be promoting him now. And all you got to do is use the promo code WRATH within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. So don't forget about that promo code WRATH. Okay, so let's get kicking with, let's see what's on the calendar, right? I mean, that's kind of what's kind of important here, is that if you bring up the Plarium Play calendar here, what does it really show? Well, I mean, as you can see this right now, starting tomorrow, because we're on Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday, we have like a Fire Knight turn attack that is starting tomorrow. Some very basic stuff. We have clan versus clan. This is in game right now that you can kind of see that. Tag Arena tournament also starting tomorrow, but there's a big gap, like not a whole lot going on right now. So, what is probably going to happen with regards to actually not just Mavara. There are other characters that haven't really seen much so far either, right? Wasn't there this legendary lizardman? Again, like, I don't know if this is going to happen, but we have Kosk of 2 skins. Hasn't been anything related to him, whether it's a progressive, whether it's a guaranteed event or anything like that. I'm actually a little bit surprised that we've gone as far as we have without a guaranteed Deck of Fates character. I was surprised that the last one that came by did not have a character associated with that, and I was a little bit disappointed as well. I feel that there's other characters missing. I just don't remember how many legendaries there were. We still have this guy, right? Nosan the Bronze, or whatever, Nosan the Bronze Bull, right? So he is also from the Argonauts faction, but there hasn't been anything related to him that's come out yet. I don't know if he's that, him alongside with the Fimo the Shepherd. I don't know if they're all that good, but regardless, there hasn't been any particular unlock method associated with them. Is that it? I thought there was. Maybe it hasn't come out yet. I know that there was a teaser for another Ogren legendary from the preview, but I guess they're kind of stretching that out until next time. I thought maybe there was something, but I guess not. Are there other legendaries aside from that obviously amazing the mythical Sabrail? But I mean, they're not going to do events for mythicals. So one thing that I'm curious about is, and I don't know who actually runs this sheet, this fusion event planner 2026 based on the raid event planner. This is a very well, documented list of fusion related stuff and more. So we have all the stuff here. You can see that the Mavara was a hybrid fusion and all the dates, the day that it started, the end date, the character, and then some ratings here. And then also, if you scroll further on, you can see what faction they are, their soul events specifically, and links to information related to that. Now, I think what's interesting, right, is that if we actually go back, Fusion tokens 3. Who is that? The Frosted Path. Yuki Masa's already actually in the fusion token, and he was about 4 months ago. So I wonder if that's an indication of how long it's going to take for characters to enter the fusion token. But also at the same time, Cassandra's limited, so she's probably not. So I guess the next one after that would be Null Dua. Anyways, I don't care that much about it, but what's important is kind of linking what kind of events that we've had with relations to their Fusion Soul events. Not Fusion Souls, the Souls events, right? So you can see here that over the last few ones, we had Argonisus Pelops, right? He had a Titan event. We had Noldua, who had a Hero's Path event, and that was combined with Noldua and Solinar, right? For the Hero's Path event, we had the Titans event for Cassandra, and then for what's his name, Yuki Masa, we had a Hero's Path event, and then there was 2 Champion Chase tournaments for Cross Wallbreaker and Sanguine Maria, and then we had Granite. What Granite Doorbreaker? I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, it was Granite Doorkeep. Sorry, which was a path event. Now, one thing that I want to kind of really make note about Granite's path event was that it was a 3, 4, and 5 red soul event, whereas the vast majority of these Heroes Path events are just 5 red or nothing. So I actually really liked the Granite one because it was 3, 4, or 5. It was a progressive that you could choose, how much you wanted to go in for. The question is, what event is that going to be for Mavara? It looks likely, although not guaranteed, of course, that it might be a Hero's Path event. And it looks more likely that it's probably going to be, more often than not, a direct 5 red star buy. So I guess that really says 2 things. That if you are considering getting red stars, and if you're especially considering getting a 5 red soul for Mavara, then you might want to start hoarding onto your shards, right? Because Hero's Path typically has 2 inputs. Usually it's shard related, right? Or it's some sort of champion training, or it's artifact grinding, or something like that. And largely that has to do with energy or gems that you're going to use to convert to energy. So if that's something that interests you, I think that's probably what's going to happen on Friday. Now, or Thursday or Friday or whatever. Usually it's Friday for shard summoning events. But that also means that we just had a champion chase event not too long ago. So it won't be a champion chase. I think it won't be a champion chase, right? We need this kind of period of time, this gap between now and the next fusion event starting in early May. So it's probably going to be a Hero's Path event. It's probably going to involve shards. Now, what kind of bonuses that might be attached to that? Well, it's not going to be sacred shards, right? Because we literally just had a 2x sacred shard champion chase, which was not great for the ending of Mavara, but that's just how the cookie crumbles sometime. Primal Shard 2Xs, I mean, when it's 2x for all, including the mythicals, this happens very rarely, and we had a lot of a big bulk of that, I think, especially during the holiday periods and the anniversary period. Did we not get one of these in March? So I think what I would probably expect, and I don't know if this has happened in a while, but we probably an Ancient Shard 2x. That's kind of what I'm kind of thinking might happen this coming weekend. Or if there's no 2x at all, that's possible as well, that it might just be a progressive chance. And so the question is this something that you're going to want to go in on? I guess it depends on what kind of progressives there is. For me personally, I'm finding it harder and harder to go into progressive event traps unless they're particular characters I'm trying to chase for. For me personally, I'm actually trying to chase after a Wixwell Mercy progressive, which I know is not a very good high rate, especially for Sacred Shards or Ancient Shards or whatever. Your chances of pulling a 15x legendary is like 5%, maybe 4.5%. It's pretty low, right? But with my current fusion tokens, I'm basically waiting to get 3 of them so that I can either pull for Wixwell or Crocad. I think, the dog, right? That's something that I'm looking to do. And it probably would be at a bare minimum July, right? We don't know what the next fusion is going to be, if it's going to allow us to get a fusion token, because if it's a fragment fusion, we cannot actually get a fusion token. So it's possible that the next one could be a fragment. So at a bare minimum, I won't get Wixwell until like July or maybe August. So any chances of these characters, these 3 fusion token characters that I'm really interested in getting, that's something that I would bite for on a progressive, on something like an Ancient Shard or Sacred Shard progressive. But it really begs the question at the end of the day is, how good is Mavara? As far as, do you need souls for her? I clicked on the wrong character. That was Noldua. What would having those extra souls for Mavara actually help with? And I don't know why I went in the index. I should have just gone into my actual champion window. Because as far as what those bonuses tend to give you for red stars, right, we have to really take a look at that. So, unfortunately, it's very possible that this could be a 5 red or nothing. which means how good is the 5 red? And I'm just going to pick a random blessing just to show you, you can see the stats on it. But the main difference, I would say a good kind of middle ground would be a 3 red. And this is exactly what I did with Granite Doorkeep. I kind of wish I went with a 5 actually with him. But for most support champions and other, like just on average, it's good to get 3. Because 1 red's going to give you the big HP boost. 3 red is going to give you the defense boost, which is a very good survivability boost, right? For support characters, you don't necessarily scale by attack, so the 2 red it is what it is. But definitely getting the 3 for that defense. 4 red is crit damage, and 5 red is resist and accuracy. Now, if you're going super hardcore with Mavara, obviously that extra 75 resist is really helpful. She doesn't really have any debuffs, so the accuracy side of things for the 5 red is not particularly that important. So I would rather have just got like a 3 and chill, but I don't know if that's going to be possible with whatever plans that they have coming with her. I have this weird suspicion, especially if it's a Hero's Path event, that it's just going to be 5 red or nothing. There's no in between. Obviously, we don't know, and I think that the official content creators from Plarium on the creator program will have more to say on that probably by Wednesday, because that's the official end date of the Mavara Fusion, and when we'll be waiting for more information on more events. Because, like, if you go and look in the calendar, there's a big gap, and nothing. I mean, there's nothing really starting new after Tuesday. So I guess that begs the question, that is what is coming next. But as always, if you're interested in doing this, then you can do the best by preparing now. Right, use the next couple of days to start hoarding, start saving a few things, whether that's energy and gems for some future event, or of course not using your shards in what will be the trap tomorrow, which is the clan versus clan, not personal clan versus clan. So it's not really that big of a deal, but they will be chucking out a progressive during this time, as they always do every 2 weeks for clan versus clan. So anyways, just something to kind of think about as we wait for more information on new events. Let me know what you're up to. Did you finish the Mavara Fusion event? I'm going to be getting her up and running. I'm pretty excited to use her for this week's, I guess next week's Hydra. So after Hydra resets, I'll be trying to get her into one of my teams, and maybe I'll showcase her there as well. I think that's where I'm going to be using her the most anyways. Let me know where you're using her. Now, before we go, don't forget that if you haven't started a new account or a alt account, use the QR code in the top right hand of the screen to get Tholan Falbeard absolutely free. And then we have Stagnite, Allure, and we have Farrakhan the Fat at accounts level 10, 20, and 30. Don't forget that you can also get your hands on this brand new Legendary Champion promo code for Grand Oak Padrag. Yeah, I think I need to shorten this clip. It's a bit long. But anyways, use the promo code WRATH within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. He's an amazing support champion that you'll absolutely love. Promo code WRATH. Okay, that's it for now, everyone, and I'll see you all on the next one. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.